Welcome to SVG-TV News for Thursday, March 30th, 2017. I'm Lafern Fraser with the details. Originally submitted as an entry in the 2015 NTRC I-Squared competition by a team of 4 students from the St. Vincent Grammar School, the National Telecommunications Regulatory Commission, the NTRC, in collaboration with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Commerce and Trade, earlier today launched the Consumer Mobile Application. The app is aimed at providing consumers with prices of products at local businesses, as well as information which will further promote wise consumer choices. Nikita Tony has more in this report.
Encouraging Vincentians to shop smarter by providing information on where they can find the best prices, a consumer mobile application dubbed Vincy Prices was launched here today, Thursday, March 30th. Developed through efforts of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Trade and Commerce in collaboration with the National Telecommunications Regulatory Commission, NTRC, the app was originally created by a group of 5 students of the St. Vincent Grammar School, known as the ECUs, in 2014, and was submitted as an entry in that year's NTRC's I-Squared competition. Cognizant of the fact that the I-Squared competition was established to give young innovators the opportunity to give life to their ideas, as well as implement those ideas to reap possibilities, Director of the NTRC, Apollo Knights, noted that the Commission has assessed competition entries as far back as 2013, with that of the ECUs being chosen to be developed with specific focus on impacting consumers. Thanking the ministry for its assistance, Knights added that the app was developed by the NTRC's IT technician, Siren Cyrus.
Mobile market is something you could bring an app out, it doesn't cost much to get there, and it can reach the world. So today we are seeing the fruits of our labor more or less coming to fruition, based not just on our work, but also on the other stakeholders that are involved in this ecosystem we're trying to create. The main challenge was dealing with the stakeholders, getting the data from the supermarkets on a timely basis. Because what we're trying to do is get the data electronically, get it more frequent, so that persons using the app can get the data in real time.
Commending the work of the NTRC and the young developers who are bringing the future to the present, Executive Director of the Chamber of Commerce, Anthony Regisford, highlighted the impact that an app such as Vincy Prices can have on the business sector.
That are driving this change, people who are making technology part of the ecosystem of business. I downloaded the app this morning. Yeah, there are limitations. I think it's a start. The intent is very good. I would like to see it move to where you have a huge list of products. Competition is good, and I think within the supermarkets and the people who sell the items that you're comparing your prices, and availability as well, I think is something that can be included.
Members of the group who originally conceptualized the app, the ECUs, were present and expressed their appreciation to the NTRC for developing their idea.
We appreciate the work and time that was put in by the NTRC to take our rough prototype and turn it into a fully functioning app.
I'm quite happy to see how far it has gone. Right now at 2017, a couple of years, but nonetheless, it has gone far.
Only wish for the progression of our app so that it may include the report feature, which greatly assists the Bureau of Standards in the periodic product evaluation.
Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sir Louis Straker, who delivered the featured address, applauded the youngsters for their insight and continued contribution to app creation and development in SVG. He further added that the app adds value to the weekly published comparative price list by the Consumer Affairs Department, with hopes of it having more features in the future.
We trust that they will continue to be a specimen of the best in our society. Role models that our other young people can look up to. The ministry is committed to sending the pricing data to the Commission every 2nd and 4th week of the month after the consumer affairs officers have gone out and collected the data. The general public to utilize the app and to provide your feedback to further develop the app.
Nikita Tony reporting for SVG-TV News.
And Senior Education Officer Aldea Gums-Dyer said more must be done in order to implement the ideas presented at the National Science Fairs. Gums-Dyer was at the time speaking at the National Science Awards ceremony held at the Russell's Auditorium earlier today. At the event, several students from across the nation were recognized for their creativity, innovation, and contribution to the National Science and Technology Fair. The Senior Education Officer noted that several students have presented projects designed to solve problems faced by this country and calls for more stakeholders' participation in the private and public sectors in order to take science and technology forward.
What's going to happen to these projects after these students receive their awards today? Where's the Chamber of Commerce? We are calling on ministries such as the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry of Science and Technology, the Ministry of Health to come on board. Let us join hands, let us collaborate to really take science and technology as it needs to be taken forward. I said before, VINLEC and the Ministry of Education, I am proud of what we have been doing. But we need more hands on deck. So I am calling on all other stakeholders to really come on board and let us take science and technology forward in a meaningful way. Our students will receive awards. Congratulations to you, students. But you deserve more than that. You have already presented the ideas. Now is the time for these ideas to be developed.
Also speaking at the awards ceremony was Amala Mohammed, the National Science Fair coordinator, who said the focus of the fair was to ensure that science and technology was brought to the forefront. Mohammed added that this year's fair has seen many records in terms of projects and participation, and noted that the judges were pleased with the quality of the exhibits presented. She also expressed elation at the high level of originality shown by the students.
They really tried to see if their projects or to investigate different ways of solving problems. We had a project, for example, looking at flooding of, making sure it's North River Road, that road with the Catholic schools, North River Road. We had that same student looking at a problem at the school where the students, he said, run out sometime into the traffic, and he was concerned. We had another student looking at flooding at Bookament Bay. We had students looking at how do I plant things in small spaces. I was so impressed. They had vertical gardens in almost everything you can think of. Students looking at recycling, investigating, for example, our tree. We enjoy it, it's a delicacy, but how many of us know anything about it apart from it's delicious when it's fried? So we had students doing a diversity of projects, which in most cases, they themselves developed, they came up with the ideas. And this is what we want to see for Science Fair.
The National Science Fair coordinator pointed out that 2017 would see the introduction of a zonal competition in order to boost participation as well as improve the quality of exhibits.
And we're hoping that more parents and other community members will be able to visit the fair in that particular location. When we have the fair at one central point in Kingston, a number of the parents and other persons cannot make it to see the fair. So at least we'll get to have a glimpse at the fair, let's say, North Leeward Zone. The parents in that area, the community members, will get to see the fair, the zonal fair in that area. It will also give persons a chance to improve on their projects, because now they will have valuable feedback from the judges, and then they have maybe a month or two, and then they can prepare their projects for the national fair. And we think that this would help with the standard of the projects. And students also will by the time they get to the national level, they'll be very confident, because you have an internal fair, a zonal fair, and then by the time you get to the national fair, this will be your third outing. So we look forward to that.
Vincentians may soon get the opportunity to study in Qatar. That's the word from Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves as he highlighted prospects from his recent trip to the Arab nation. Dr. Gonsalves noted that Qatar has some 7 universities that are also connected with world-renowned educational institutions in the US, Britain, and France.
And they have special programs, both undergraduate and master's level. They don't offer, these universities don't offer the full range of courses like their parent universities offer. They offer different areas of study in the sciences, in medicine, in arts, different ones of them. And I discussed with them, and they're receptive to the idea of we having a few of our students going there, perhaps first at the master's level, and then I talked to them about some of their students coming here at our School of Nursing and in our technical college, because they have a need for nurses and technical persons.
The Prime Minister also highlighted the importance of having a maritime institute that could give persons here the opportunity to work on small and medium-sized yachts in Qatar.
Persons to go there to work on small and medium-sized yachts. I wanted to know if we have such persons. Of course we have people. They in this region and up in the north, they work. And we need to do more training. That is the idea behind the Maritime Institute. But until it's fully operational, we have to send people to be trained additionally elsewhere in the modern science of maritime affairs.
Comptroller of the Inland Revenue Department, Kelvin Pompey, is urging persons to pay up their driver's and motor vehicle licenses, which are due by the end of March. Pompey explained that persons with the last figure on their license plates being the number 3 and celebrating their birthday this month are asked to ensure that they utilize the time left to avoid not getting their license updated.
Vehicles with last digit 3. It's also due to be paid end of March. And of course, persons who have had a birthday in March and you have not yet paid, you don't want to go over Friday. So persons are being encouraged to come to the department early. I would encourage you not to wait until Friday or even Friday evening, because we anticipate the lines are going to be very long at the department. Of course, we would be available to offer the necessary assistance.
The Comptroller of the Inland Revenue also expressed concern about persons who do not pay their insurance, which he said could be a serious liability.
Motor vehicle owners, to make sure that your vehicle is insured. We have been having persons who have been coming to the department, licensing their vehicle on an insurance that only has a month or 2 to go, or several months, and then not renewing that insurance until next year and the following year. And so persons have been sometimes getting into accidents or such and find that their insurance is basically not up to date. So I want to appeal to motor vehicle owners, especially those who may not be driving, to check to see when is the expiration date of your insurance, so as to avoid getting into trouble, of course, with the police and, of course, the liability that may result if you get into an accident with an uninsured vehicle.
Minister of Culture Cecil Mackey is calling for a particular time of the year to be identified for the showcasing of not only Vincentian folk songs, but other similar compilations. Mackey's suggestion comes in light of the recent launch of a book of SVG's folk songs as part of the National Cultural Foundation, the NCF, Our Cultural Heritage Book Series. Commending the NCF and other involved stakeholders for compiling the publication, Mackey noted that such materials should be showcased and appreciated by the nation, especially among the youth, in order to preserve the country's history and heritage.
So that they can understand fully and appreciate what our history and heritage is. We would have several opportunities because we are now developing several festivals. We're developing several sites throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines where persons will have the opportunity to deliver these folk songs and other patriotic songs. We are speaking about 3 sites that we are developing now. The cultural site, the Cairo site, and also the heritage site. Those would add to the opportunities that we will have to push these folk songs and other patriotic songs. That later on we'll hear some of the songs being delivered. I don't know if we'll have dance to some of the songs as well. Yes, we'll have some dance. And I want to think that the NCF will ensure that there will be a dance created for every single folk song so that we can use that to further sell the gold mine, the treasure that we have before us.
Highlighting that promoting the country's culture is central to further developing the nation, Mackey urged the overall Vincentian public to continue their efforts to promote and enhance Vincentian traditions, culture, and heritage.
Culture, in fact, engages the young, the middle-aged, and the elderly of our nation. And so, therefore, it's a very important and useful tool that we can go forward with our development. The musical bands, the music teachers, the communities, the churches, so that they can play an active role in taking the content of this book forward, as well as other patriotic songs. I repeat, we have as Vincentians a very rich culture, history, and heritage. Let us hold it up to the world, let us be proud of it, and let us sell it, not only to Vincentians, but the entire world.
Director of the SVG Planned Parenthood Association, Nellie Phillips, is lamenting the need for more educational drive on issues of family planning and sexual reproductive health among adolescents here. Earlier this week, Phillips addressed a number of health practitioners and district nurses at the annual Community Nursing Staff Family Planning Workshop, which focused on matters relating to sexual reproductive health in SVG. Shedding light on the national rate of teenage pregnancy, Phillips questioned whether the nation would continue to sit back and allow adolescents to destroy their lives due to unprotected sexual activities or the misuse of contraceptives due to lack of proper information. Phillips said it is unfortunate that even in these modern times, there are many adolescents who are still sexually uneducated.
The experience that I have gained as an executive director thus far has opened my eyes to this in the sense that many of our young people still do not know how to put on a condom safely. They still do not know when their bodies start to ovulate, much less to figure out exactly how to use the contraceptives pills properly. And these are contraceptives that are gained or that can be gained over the counter. And when they go to these pharmacies and collect such, these pharmacists are not going to take the time out to educate our adolescents as to the proper use of such. Therefore, lack of information to the contraceptive use, therefore brings about a rate of unintended adolescent pregnancy.
Phillips appealed to all the relevant authorities to act now to protect the nation's youth against teenage pregnancy and other scourges in society.
Teenage pregnancy possesses a substantial financial burden on our society, where annually millions are lost in tax revenues, public assistance, child health care, foster care, and involvement with the criminal justice system. I have created 2 recommendations for us to look at, and by the end of our session, I'm certain that we will pull our minds together and come up with a lot more. In combating adolescent pregnancy, we at the St. Vincent Planned Parenthood Association believe that reducing the age of access to contraceptives to the same age as consent will help reduce such. And also, we must make health and family life education, or strengthen the health and family life education with comprehensive sexuality education as a requirement for all schools from kindergarten to grade 6. and from Form 1 to Form 5.
Noting that the Planned Parenthood Association is working closely with several academic institutions here, Phillips stressed that comprehensive sexual education amongst youth is of vital importance.
When you look at the statistics, where our 10 and 14-year-olds are becoming parents, it says that they need comprehensive sexuality education in order to help reduce, in order for them to live flourishing lives, in order for them to take advantage of our education revolution system that we have in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, in order for them to just bloom. We must ensure that they are educated. As we all know, education is the only tool that we can use to eradicate poverty.
Country representative of the Pan American Health Organization, or PAHO, Anique Wilson, also appealed for a collaborative effort to address matters of sexual reproductive health care and family planning among the nation's youth.
We must be reminded that both adolescents and males play a very important role in reproductive health as well as family life. Now, the continuum is not fully effective on its own. It is exclusively limited to people's individual responsibility to take care of their health. Hence, as healthcare providers, you must provide the technical guidance. It must be packaged in a non-technical way to meet the needs and assist the community to make informed decisions regarding their health.
Be healthy, live healthy, and give healthy. This was the encouragement given by Katisha Douglas, health education teacher at the Bethel High School, as the institution launched its 2017 Young Leaders Program under the theme Impacting Health in Our Community Through Volunteerism. Douglas noted that one's health must encompass the physical, spiritual, and emotional aspects of life, and only after achieving this can one have a positive impact on their community.
So if we combine all of these, for example, not littering, not smoking, or burning your tires, throwing your garbage in the sea, in the rivers, they're going to affect the environment around your homes, disposing of your garbage in the wrong way. What do you think can happen? Can I have a volunteer? What do you think can happen? For example, in our homes. Rats, rodents, what else? And from that, when we handle them, they will multiply. And we can have diseases such as leptospirosis, and we have mosquito breeding grounds, you can get dengue fever, we have chikungunya and Zika. So we have to try and educate ourselves, learn the ways of being healthy first, living healthy. So I end saying, my theme within your team, be health, live health, and give health. Thank you.
Meanwhile, President of the Bethel High School Young Leaders, Katisha Williams, stated that the program gives participants an opportunity to build a foundation which impacts not only their lives but that of the community. Williams highlighted some of the activities the Bethel Young Leaders will be involved in as a means of improving their community.
Fogging the entire school, installation of the white blackboard to reduce dust in the environment. Replacing chalkboards to prevent strainage on students' eyes. Volunteering at the clinic, a clean class competition, sexual transmitting disease seminar, a water day, and a fruit day. And finally, culminating with a community health fair. We have a task ahead of us, but with teamwork and your support, we must pull through. So help us make an impact today. Thank you.
Also speaking at the launching event was Muriel Fraser, National Coordinator of the 2017 Young Leaders Program, who encouraged the students to emulate the high standards set by previous young leaders and use the opportunities presented to improve themselves and their communities.